All right, let's go. I think we can all admit that last week was a bit of a rough week. Obviously not as rough as ordering a Chicago-style pizza in Chicago, or how sad it's going to be to hear the farewell speech from Ripple legend David Schwartz. And it's definitely not as bad as the behind-the-scene footage of Kamala's book tour.
Sit down.
Frank.
Stand up.
Frank.
Pass out.
Frank.
No, for Hakeem Jeffries last week showcased something that no applicable congressperson ever wants to be a part of.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Hakeem the Hustler would like you to believe that the problem is about healthcare, but the real issue is he went out to make a purchase with a credit card he assumed had no limit, but for the first time ever, his race card was declined. I don't know, Hakeem, I've made a lot of bad cakes in my life, but never wrecked them like this. So, as always, we got lots to talk about and many questions to answer. Like, what was your favorite thing to play at your family game nights? Has there ever been a better t-shirt to wear for this particular situation? Is Big Mike getting ready to star as the next Incredible Hulk? Why does it take Giancarlo Stanton so long to run around the bases? How do you feel about the possible new rebranding design for Wendy's? Do you think there is any chance that hair shades become popular? Why is Caitlin Clark showing up at WNBA games looking like a roll of quarters? Has Jake Paul finally found his next boxing opponent? And maybe most importantly of all, be honest, which Fetterman is your favorite Fetterman? The 2025 government shutdown continues, and there's no doubt you're already starting to feel the consequences.
Yesterday, the president posted an offensive deepfake AI video of Leader Jeffries and me, with sombreros, fake music, impersonating my voice through AI. It wasn't me.
It is kind of ironic that the shutdown happened right before Halloween, as now all the government gangsters that play dress up all the time will actually have to return to their true colors.
We call it the Schumer siesta, right? It's the Schumer siesta. He put the government on siesta, crying Chuck, and El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries. We used to call him Dollar Store Obama till we realized he's worth far less than $1. But they put the government on siesta to give illegal aliens your health care. We're not going to let it happen. I looked at both of them. I said, we're not going to let it happen. It's no bueno. I said, it's no bueno. They begged me. They said, but senor, por favor, please give illegal aliens the health care. I said, we're not going to do it. We're never going to do it. It's not going to happen.
All right, let's talk some financial news. And while we can argue where we are in the current crypto cycle, one thing we all know is true is that the end of a bull market can definitely get a little wild. And it really feels like same shit, different day in the crypto world. But we start right here with some big news right off the top. Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, announces he's stepping back from day-to-day duties at year's end to join the board as Chief Technology Officer Emeritus.
I think what's going to happen is there's going to be use cases where digital assets like XRP and Bitcoin make sense, where volatility is either an advantage or not a disadvantage. And there'll be other cases where a sort of more stable token like RLUSD or some other stablecoin will make more sense, where either the volatility is a disadvantage or where the recipient doesn't want to deal with the complexity of having a volatile asset.
New types of investments and asset classes, capital formation, credit, like all these things can get reinvented, made more efficient in the crypto world. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do. We're trying to create more economic freedom in the world and update the financial system.
Big news right here. Ripple OCC banking charter application is live. To put this simply, the OCC is the Office of the Comptroller of Currency. Ripple applied for a U.S. National Trust Bank charter on July 2nd with the OCC, going public in August. Approval would let Ripple act as a regulated bank, manage its stablecoin RLUSD, and possibly access a Federal Reserve master account, boosting XRP's use in cross-border payments, with a decision due by October 28th.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is
decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology.
Here is Phil Kwok of the Easy A app talking about Ripple and XRP on NASDAQ TV.
What are some of the key advantages of using stablecoins over traditional fiat or other types of crypto?
That's a great question. Number one is this cheapness with which you can transfer. So for example, if you transfer a stablecoin like ORLUSD, which is issued by Ripple, then on the XRP ledger, you can transfer that for literally fractions of a cent. Super fast and super cheap as well. When we look at the cost of a wire transfer, I'll give you an example. We recently ran a prize competition for our community, and some of the prizes were very, very small, just as guaranteed prizes. We sent $10 to one participant. It actually cost her $5 to receive it because that was the price. It was a $15 wire transfer. So she actually lost $5 because we sent her 10. So absolutely insane. That's just one example of how stablecoins are making it a lot faster and a lot cheaper to receive and send payments.
And here is Trump giving his thoughts on specific cryptocurrencies.
How do you feel about Doge? How do you feel about XRP, Ripple? How do you feel about, Ethereum? Where are you with the other three?
Know all of them extremely well. Know Brad very well at XRP, and he's done a great job. Know Ethereum very well. I'm one of the guys who was early on this year saying buy Ethereum as it's crashing, and Ethereum's come ripping back. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of Ethereum. Bitcoin is digital gold. Ethereum is definitely the oil by which all financial systems are going to run on. And they've done tremendously well. And I think, honestly, cryptocurrency, all the altcoins, I think, are going to do well. As Bitcoin rips, those are going to follow.
And for anyone who's been watching Solana rip higher and higher, you'll definitely want to know about Upexi. Upexi is not just another crypto startup. They're one of the largest public Solana treasury companies, holding over 2 million SOL tokens, and I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. Upexi's business model is as powerful as it is effective. Buy SOL at a discount, stake it for yield, and give shareholders exposure to the fastest blockchain on the market, all through a traditional stock. Upexi is listed on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol UPXI. That means you don't need to mess with wallets, exchanges, or private keys to take advantage of the upside of Solana. Investors get institutional grade exposure, staking yield, and the potential for compounding gains, all wrapped up in a structure that the market already understands. This is about bridging Wall Street and Web3 with Solana at the core. Go check out their website or investors relations page. All the details are available at upexi.com. And as always, do your own research. All right, let's take a look at some of the other top headlines, and we'll start right here with a strong warning from my favorite senator.
This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries.
As the government shutdown continues, everyone is dealing with things in their own way.
Massive misinformation campaign. The president himself tweeting out AI videos of fake news reports.
I say, are hoping that we can have gender affirming here.
Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th.
And while it definitely feels like VP Vance may be handling things the best, it feels like Hakeem Jeffries is taking it the hardest.
I'm not even Mexican. I don't know why President Trump keeps saying that shit. He needs to say it to my face, Holmes. And while we're at it, I'm getting really tired of all that dollar store Obama shit. It's getting old, homie. My name is not Dollar Store Obama, okay, pendejo?
But the good news is the Hakeem Jeffries Halloween costume is turning into a top seller for this year. Here's some solid advice from the best president in the world, Nayib Bukele. If you don't impeach the corrupt judges, you cannot fix the country. They will form a cartel, a judicial dictatorship, and block all reforms, protecting the systemic corruption that put them in their seats. This is interesting. For the first time in 10 years, no September hurricane made landfall on the continental US. This is what it looks like to take border security to the next level.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country.
Crazy stat right here. According to Watcher Guru, the US dollar has lost over 10% of its value this year.
Regular folks, people who, go to Walmart, there are 150 million Americans who use Walmart online or in person every week, can now actually have crypto in the very same app. They can buy it, they can hold it, they can store it, they can trade it if they want. And then when they want to go pay for something, they can, turn it into cash and like we said, go, OnePay is actually integrated into the checkouts of Walmart. So it is, I think, a milestone in that case.
Producers of The View must have been contemplating how they could lower the total testosterone level on stage by 20%. So they invited Zoran Mondani on the show. I did think it was nice, though, that they went ahead and updated their logo.
Your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed.
And here's some truth talk from the boss.
That word, I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else.
Ooh. So I'll be watching, and I'll keep you updated with any new information. We all have to try our best to make this world a better place. Like, I started saying mucho around my Spanish-speaking friends and family. It means a lot to them. My goal for everyone is that no matter who you are or what you're into, you find someone that is just right for you. So while tears may fall, always make sure you are appropriately protected. One of the most important skills you can learn is time management. If you can master that, you're on your way to greatness.
It's Dollar Store Obama. It's Dollar Store Obama. Happiness no socito. Los tacos burritos.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. No hay paycheck.
Órale, mi gente! And if you have a couple more minutes, you may have missed my last video where we talk about Trump's advice for XRP holders. And of course, some more truth talk, not designed to invite hate, but instead to promote thought and question so that maybe we can start to get a clearer look at each other's diversified points of view. Until the next time, be safe.